Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Good morning. We're going to ask that everyone take a seat at this time so that way we could listen and hear the exciting announcements.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Unity Renaissance. The Hand That Paints the Sky is featuring her art will be on the walls March and April. 30% of the proceeds go to UR. Now, she has a special announcement because we're spotlighting her today. And so I'm going to read all the information so that I don't mess it up and you get everything you need. So you can fill out a raffle ticket. She will have a table out in the Narthex right after service. She'll be picking prize winners, first and second prize. And first prize gets a piece of art, and the second prize gets Goddess Art I Am Journal. She will also have journals and intentional gemstone bracelets for purchase as well. And you could see her right after service. Wow, get a ticket. Now, if you've missed out, you haven't missed out. Donna and Lisa are here every Tuesday until March 31st, almost time's up, for the season of nonviolence, holding prayer and holding space for the peace in all the world. Come and join them at 6:30 right here at UR. Our amazing Boyd Black has stepped back from the music team. We have cards in the narthex for him just to say thank you and send him some love for his service. We'll be sending the cards to him shortly, so head on out to the narthex on the side of the bookstore in the little brown table. You could see the cards there. Fill it out, stick it in the basket, and we'll make sure he gets it. Okay, Board of Trustees regular monthly meeting is March 26th at 6 p.m. on Zoom. All Unity Renaissance members are welcome to attend. Please contact the business office to request access to the Zoom link. Now, I don't know about you, but I know about me. And when I forgive, it's just a freedom that I never ever knew. So Freedom Through Forgiveness is a workplace shop intensive inspired by lesson 3 in the Way of Mastery. It's Thursday, March 19th from 6:30 to 8:45 p.m. Saturday, March 21st, in person in the sanctuary from 10 to 12, and then again from 1 to 3. And Tuesday, March 24th, it's via Zoom, 7 to 8:45. Go on the website to register and join us. March 29th, Reverend Charlene Manuel will be here to be our guest speaker during service. Then after the service at 1 p.m., she'll be having a workshop. It's called Who We Are and Why We're Here, okay? It's a congregation vision workshop. So have you ever asked yourself, why do you attend this church? Why do we exist in a congregation? Like, why do we do what we do every single Sunday? Well, come and find answers to these and many more questions. Okay, just make sure that you sign up early on the website. For both classes, we are totally encouraging early registration, guys. So click away on your cell phones. And now enjoy the service. Mwah.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
All right, good morning, Unity. If you could please stand to your feet, help us sing this first song. We're anchoring in sacred love this morning. Let's get a hand clap sign. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Let's sing that again. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. Let's sing that again. Deepest joy. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. All right, so now's the time in our service where we turn and greet our neighbors with a friendly handshake, hug, or bow. And we repeat to them the divinity salute. The divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God. Hold those hands back together. All right. Let me hear y'all. Show the way. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are.
You are sacred love, and that's all that you are. Good morning, Unity Renaissance Spiritual Life Center. What an honor and privilege it is to stand on this platform and to be able to see your beautiful faces and to sing together that beautiful song and to experience and co-create together this sacred service. And so know that no matter where you are, whether you're right here in the sanctuary or you're joining us online, you are so very welcome here. You are a part of our community. You're part of our heart. And the energy, as being a conduit of energy for spirit, your presence matters. And so we can feel one another's presence. I invite you really to just look around like I'm getting to look around right now. Look around and see everyone who has showed up. There are more here than when we first started. So it's changed. And that's the way the movement of the mind of God is. It is continuously changing. We think it stays the same, but no, my friends. It's continuously changing, being made new. And it's being made new by the presence that you are. I'm so very grateful to be here. And so at the very beginning here, we talk about what is unity. And what is unity has already been demonstrated. Unity is a sacred spiritual home where we're dedicated to awakening and we're dedicated to the principles and teachings that are taught by Unity, which is a broader organization that we are a part of. And Unity Worldwide brings forth the teachings of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who co-founded the teaching over 100 years ago. And it is really a teaching about aligning with the mind and heart of God. God that is known by many names, as demonstrated by many religions and pathways, and that we honor all pathways of those who seek to love and those who seek to understand God. And the way that we understand God is that God is not only out there and everywhere, but mostly we put God right in the center of our being. That we are each divine emanations of this power and presence, and that it operates according to the divine mind and heart that are joined in wholeheartedness, and that when we align there, we become like it. We become co-creators of our experience. And so we choose to think the thoughts of God, the thoughts of love. Let's get a little beat with that. We extend it into the world. That's when I know, go do something like this or like feel it. We're here to extend love in the world, and that feels good, and that's worthy of celebration. Thank you, my friend, right on cue. I'll catch you later for that one. Thank you. And so we've been doing this thing because I think nothing really says what unity, and specifically Unity Renaissance, is more than what we're up to. And in a world where there's so much news and we're inundated with news all the time, I thought it would be nice to rename this next section, which we used to call Look Back, like what have we done this week? And we're calling it Good News, because what we focus on increases. And the truth is that there's good news all around us all the time. And we're up to it and making it right here in this community. And so the first thing that we wanted to highlight was the JCOC dinner that, let me get myself together here, because here it is. The good news, the outreach team, which is led by our very own Lynn, who leads the is she here today? She's probably taken a rest because she's been up to so much lately. But she and the team that you can see there, and there are more people, there were up to 30 people or 30 plus people who participated in some way in this program that delivered 151 meals to the JCOC for those experiencing homelessness and food insecurity. And so that's good news. That's what we're up to in this community. And not only that, we're a community where we take care of one another and we take care of our home. And so spring cleaning happened on Saturday, where the Unity Renmen, the Unity Sisterhood, and Youth and Family Ministry all came together to participate in our home spring cleaning. And they did so many different things. I'm just going to list a few, but they were scrubbing walls, they scrubbed baseboards, they cleaned the windows, they addressed some of the spots on the carpet here in the sanctuary and elsewhere. They did pressure washing outside. And we're going to hear some of the things that YFM did when they come up at the end of the service. So that's the good news that's happening here. And in addition to our announcements, that's the service, the sacred service that our community is up to day in and day out, and I'm so very grateful. None of this happens without all of us, and so thank you very much. All right, let's pause and take a breath. What else is unity? Unity is about prayer. What is unity if we are not about affirmative prayer? It's not the prayer of supplication. It's the prayer of, as I said earlier, aligning with God consciousness. And so every Sunday we have prayer chaplains that facilitate a meditation, which is a silent meditation to anchor that presence. That happens at 10:15 in our chapel. And then throughout the week, prayer chaplains are praying with and for all of us, for this community. And then on Sundays, 2 prayer chaplains are here for one-on-one prayer. And so please avail yourself of the transformative prayer that happens where 2 or more are gathered in my name, in the name of God. And so that's what they're up to. So I invite our prayer chaplains to stand. Those with the prayer shawls on are available for one-on-one prayer. And if any other prayer chaplains wish to stand, that would be wonderful too, as we anchor prayer in this moment. And so affirmative prayer, we pause together and breathe. We let the shoulders drop and the heart space to open. We allow the third eye to raise just a touch. We allow and invite the descent of spirit into our conscious awareness as we are open and willing to receive. And as we pause in this holy instant, I bring my attention and awareness to this divine mind, this infinite spirit that is everywhere present, that creates all that is seen, unseen, in between and beyond. The only reality that there is, the reality of love. That this love intelligence extends itself into and as all of creation. And it is good and very good. It is peace-filled. It is lavish abundance. It is wholeness. It is purity. And it is this consciousness that creates from itself and extends itself as Christ, as the divine spark within all of humanity and all of creation, such that in truth everything sparkles with the divine, with its wholeness, with its love, with its peace. All needs are met in this lavish abundance of the universe that God creates. And so as we unify in this God consciousness, we declare and decree and co-create together that where there are appearances of lack, we see the fulfillment of every need in a perfect and divine timing and a perfect and divine order. Where there's that perception of the experience of war that is made from this experience, we call forth God's peace, God's reconciliation that surpasses any human understanding. We see and behold the faces of individuals caught up in the drama of humanity, and we embrace each with love, with light, and we know and see and sense among all our brothers and sisters. We deny any sense of otherness, and we affirm oneness. And in this oneness, we extend this love to one another. This is the one power. This is the one presence. And this is what transforms lives, that transforms the world. And it begins in our heart and mind now. Joined in this consciousness, I bless this sacred service. I call it good and very good. I say something wonderful is happening. I call forth the idea that each of us receives something just perfect, just for our lives, such that we may know that we are loved, that we are loving, that we are lovable, and that each of us matters. This is what I claim. This is what we celebrate in, through, and as the nature of the Christ of our being. I release this word. I give great gratitude for it. And together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Amen, amen. Aho.
I invite you, Unity Renaissance, to please stand if you are comfortable and join us as we recite our vision and our mission statement together. Our vision, a fully awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. Our mission, we transform lives that transform the world. And now we have our March affirmations that are all taken from the Daily Word. We invite everyone to listen, receive, and repeat. Inner peace. Of this moment, I am peace. Understanding. One with divine mind, I realize infinite potential. Wholeness. All of divine life is present where I am. Prosperity. All that can be in divine abundance. Oneness. I open my heart in oneness with all people. You may be seated. I neglected to 17 years. Some of you may be looking at this blouse and thinking I'm wearing a Valentine's blouse, but it's a forgiveness blouse. Represents love. March 15th, 2026. The reading for today are the words of Jeshua from Lesson 3, the power of forgiveness in the way of mastery. How forgiveness heals. How does it work? What really occurs when you forgive? You are a conduit of energy. To the degree that the conduit is in perfect working order, the energy can flow radiantly, that the conduit actually becomes transparent. That is, it no longer blocks. There is no barrier or limit to the light. When you judge, it is as though you have contracted. You made the walls of the conduit smaller. Just like building up rust in your pipes, and the flow becomes less and less. As you forgive judgments, it is as though the rust in the pipes were dissolving. It is as though the walls of the pipe that you are carrying, the liquid of God's love, begin to expand and get thinner and thinner and more transparent. Judgment is contraction. Forgiveness is relaxation and peace and trust and faith. Forgiveness allows the spaciousness within your consciousness to grow. For when you look upon the thief that has broken into your home and say, I forgive you, you are decreeing that the opposite of what you've learned. You are decreeing that nothing can be taken away from you that is of value. You are decreeing that judgment is the opposite of what you want and what you want to feel. You are decreeing that your power to perceive differently, you are therefore healing yourself. Please stand as we sing the Lord's Prayer together. The Lord's Psalm, excuse me.
You're shattered like you've never been before. The life you knew, and 1,000 pieces on the floor, and words fall short. Times like these, this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna get back to the you used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closed door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Beginning, just let that word wash over you. You're all right now. Love's healing hands will pull you through. Take step one, leave the darkness, feel the sun. You see your story's far from over, and your journey's just begun. Tell your heart to beat again, close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away, step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door, you don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. Let every heart break and every scar be a picture that reminds you who has carried you this far. 'Cause love sees farther than you ever could. At this moment, heaven's watching everything for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. Oh, again. Your heart to beat again.
Beautiful. Ooh, thank you. Tell your heart to beat again. Maybe personal, maybe it doesn't feel personal, but there's a part that feels shattered. And it's that part that we're speaking to in this moment, that to say to the self, you know what? It's okay. It's going to be okay. This is the journey of humanity in this experience, a journey truly of our own making. And in this journey, it is said in A Course in Miracles, also by Yeshua, that it is a journey without distance. A journey without distance to a place and a destination that has never changed. And that as we're in our Lenten season here, as we're approaching Easter, one of the pinnacles of our calendar year, the idea of our resurrection, which is a returning home to the divine self as God created each and every one of us as Christ. And so this is our return home, this is our resurrection, and this is our rising. And yet we are on something very similar that's been depicted as a hero, shero's journey, where we've come into this experience, if you will, only to find ourselves again, only to come home, only to have experiences that may challenge us, not to take us out, but to help us remember who we are as spiritual beings, to deny that we could be only human. Have you ever said that? I am only human. Hey, I'm only human. Well, around here, we're like, yeah, I don't buy that. Around here, we're like, yeah, you're spiritual first and foremost, which endows you with all power under heaven and earth, when you will finally choose to align with the mind and heart of all that is, which is love. And the moment that we only love is the moment we awaken. Because in the very beginning of the book that we're in now, it says, how long is it going to take? And in this community, as B led us, we stood to speak our vision, and our vision is about spiritual awakening. And it says that, hey, it just takes as long as it takes for you to decide, for us to decide to teach only love. And so this idea of forgiveness being our topic perfectly placed during the Lenten season, which is all about forgiving and denying the thoughts that we once held to be the truth of our being, we're saying no. We're denying only that which is false, only that which denies who we truly are as God created. And so this is a beautiful practice that we're engaged in, a practice of release and a practice of embrace, a practice of denial of that which is false and an embracing of only that which is true, truth, reality. So that's what we're up to. What are you guys up to? That's what we're up to here. And so the teaching tells us that, and the reading, so beautifully read, thank you, B, oh my goodness, just delivered perfectly, written and received so perfectly, is forgiveness. And sometimes, oh, yeah, cool. What is forgiveness? It's as if somebody knew what I was going to say. Thank you so much. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is a process of giving up the false, just what we're saying. We're continuously sorting. Remember, as the wise gardener, we're continuously sorting. No, I don't want to plant that seed anymore. I'm going to release it. I'm going to let it go. Why? Because it's not true. And I already know what kind of harvest I will reap if I plant seeds of negativity, seeds of fear. I already know it. Don't want to experience that anymore. So it's a process of giving up the false for the true, of erasing sin, which sin is simply missing the mark, the archery term. Another way of thinking of it is I made a mistake. I made a mistake. What do we do when we make a mistake? We just pick ourselves up, we brush ourselves off, and we choose again. No judgment. There is no entity called a God that's judging us. Let's get really clear on that. That's a really important concept. The only one who has chosen to judge is me and you, is us. We've done that to ourselves. And it was here, so let's just pause here, please, for a minute, that I want to tell a story. And the story goes something like this. When I was a little girl, I was the youngest of 4 girls. And the sister right above me, her name is Melissa. Melissa's one of the greatest teachers of my life. I love her so much. Now, it was a little challenging when we were growing up. We shared a room together. I felt like we were like oil and water. She was bigger than me. She was older than me. And I remember one day she tackled me and she sat right on top of me and she took my arms and she was doing this. And she kept saying, "Why do you keep hitting yourself?" And then "Why do you keep hitting yourself? Why do you keep hitting yourself?" And that's what comes up when I think of this. Why do we keep hitting ourselves? Why do we keep making the same things, those seeds that we know what they're going to do, and we plant them anyway? It's just a habit. That's all. And this becomes a season where we begin to really bring our mindfulness and awareness to what are we planting. You know, we're still in the practice of every hour for about 3 to 5 minutes, just pausing, as we do here. We do it all the time. We take that breath. We release, and we become aware. What is the experience that I'm creating right now? And am I judging? Am I judging it? Or am I accepting it? I used to work out at a gym called Planet Fitness. Anybody work out there? I loved it because their color was purple. And it was, I like purple. I liked it even more because it was at a time when I first started to work out with free weights, and I was a little intimidated by it, but I was really intimidated, especially by, the big guys who had been doing it for a while and were bulked up, and, they'd lift the weight up, a huge weight, and then they'd drop it, and it would reverberate, and I'm very sound sensitive, and I would just it just scared me, but they had this thing. And right where the free weights are, it said judgment-free zone in purple lettering. It was like, oh. I'm like, I'm going to go work out over there. And the judgment-free zone was this idea that we don't make a big deal about our, the weights that we're, I'm lifting more weights than you're lifting. It was a judgment-free zone. And I suggest that when we come into this sanctuary, that we enter into a judgment-free zone and we practice that. And I think we do. I think we do a pretty good job here. I love this community. A judgment-free zone. And that we begin to carry that out into our lives. Because giving up the false for the true means that we're giving up our judgment. If we're just aligned with truth, with equanimity, with peace, with love, we begin to cultivate the awareness that anything that looks different than that, my friends, is a call for forgiveness within me. And if we truly live in a reflective universe, that forgiveness is like intending to extend only love. And we're extending love. That journey without a distance to the destination that never changes, that journey home, the hero and shero journey that we're all on. We think it's to a place called heaven, or we were conditioned for that, but heaven's within us. The Master said this. In the way of mastery, he clarifies, not only is heaven within you, it is you. And it's contingent every time we choose love. And that becomes the messenger that we send out in the world, rather than projection of fear. So, we're giving up the false for the true. We're erasing sin, our mistakes, and error from the mind and body. As the reading said, when we judge, it constricts. They say that the basis of every disease has to do with inflammation. And what does inflammation do? It negates spaciousness. It takes it away. It causes a constriction within the body so that it cannot freely move. We were meant for movement. Take it from somebody who has not moved her body in particular ways for a large part of my life, and I'm just now beginning to dance. We had ecstatic dance here. Look for that in the calendar. Come here and move. Move the body, move the mind, move the soul. We're not meant to be rigid. We're conduits of energy, and it must flow through us. We create that spaciousness every time we forgive. And we forgive when one ceases to sin or to miss the mark or to align with fear. These are all saying the same thing. true forgiveness is established. We renew the mind and the body with thoughts and words. One more, please. And it is through forgiveness that true spiritual healing is accomplished. So that is what forgiveness is, and it's as simple as going back before we ever gave a judgment. Before we gave a judgment, we go back to the beginning. Back to the beginning, God. Back to the beginning, God consciousness. And so last week we kind of talked about our life just as it is and just as it isn't, as being the perfect ashram, the perfect holy pathway for our very own awakening. We don't need to go off somewhere, though we can. But from the moment we arise in the morning until the moment we arise, we're in our own curriculum. We're in our own pathway of awakening. Gosh darn it, if 1,000 times a day that ashram isn't kicked up with, last week I talked about every one of us has its own obstacle course, and it's perfectly designed for us. And on that obstacle course, we bump into little challenges. And gosh darn it, if there aren't 1,000 times a day for this opportunity to be disturbed, right? It's a good quote. Yeah, we studied that quote this past week in the class that we're doing on Wednesdays. Yeah, there's thousands of opportunities to be disturbed. And instead of going, gosh darn it, this is where we go, goody, goody. This is my time for awakening. This is my opportunity. Because if I'm disturbed, there's something within me that is calling for forgiveness. There's something within me that's calling for healing. And so that's the ashram, just reminding us of that from last week. And so we've talked about forgiveness and how forgiveness actually works, that it creates a spaciousness. I kind of like the reading because it talks about how forgiveness clears the pipes, so to speak. And I was thinking, forgiveness is like liquid plumber. You know, it just clears us. Or another thing I used to use in the past, anybody watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding? And the patriarch and the family, everything that is positive in humanity is attributed to some Greek in history, somebody who was Greek or some Grecian culture. And this guy, he loved Windex. And he used Windex on everything. Like if you had, a sore on you, he'd come up and spray Windex on you. So forgiveness is kind of like Windex, and it's kind of like liquid plumber. It's something that works every time we engage ourselves with it. And it's always for us, and it's always about releasing forgiveness. Since we're at the time of year I want to share a story with you. And I've told this story before. If you've heard it before, forgive me. Please don't judge me. It's a good story. It's a teaching story. And it's a story that I use when I talk about forgiveness, when I talk about projection. So in this story, it's a personal story, or at least it sounds like one. In this story, I've been working really hard, and I have a day off. And on this day off, I have the perfect plan for my day. On this day off, it's going to be a sunny day. I'm going to go by the pool. I know my favorite spot with my favorite book. And I'm going to unplug from the world. And I go about and I do this. And I'm in my lawn chair. And it's a beautiful day. I can feel the sun upon my skin. The water is nearby. If I get too hot, I can just take a nice little dip in the pool. I've got my book, I've got my little drink next to me, I'm all set. And as I'm reading my book, I begin to doze off. You know, those kind of half awake, half asleep, dozing off. You might be experiencing it now. That's okay. I got no judgment on it. Okay. So half asleep, it's just one of those just yummy places to be. And then all of a sudden you feel like there's a splash on me. And I'm like, what the heck? What was that? Well, I'm just going to ignore it. And then it happens again, and I kind of hook into it, and I start thinking, what's going on? Who's not behaving? Who's disrupting my peace? And I don't open my eyes, but I create a story about it. And it keeps happening until the point where I'm upset and I'm angry, right? And I just kind of put the book down, I open up my eyes, and what do I notice? I notice that there's somebody drowning in that pool. Somebody is flapping, which is causing the water to splash out. And in some way, they're in need, and they're crying out for help. In my semi-conscious state, of my judgment state, of my not coming into mindfulness and awareness, I prejudged, I judged. I wasn't available to myself, and I wasn't available to the person who needed love, needed attention. But because I'm embarrassed, okay, this is just a story, okay? This is just a story. I usually forget to say that part, and people will come up, Reverend René, Rev, what happened to the person who was drowning? You never talked about them again. I didn't talk about them again because the story up to this point is about my projection. My projection and how it takes me out and how then I am not available. And can you imagine if there really was somebody who was drowning and I didn't help them? I would feel guilty. But I might, one of two things, I'd either feel so guilty I'd just be a pathetic, sad sap for the rest of my life, or I might conjure up a story about them because I feel guilty and I have to blame in order for me to feel okay. Now let's shift gears. Let's shift gears to that person who's in the pool. Imagine that you're standing in a pool of water. It's about this deep, waist deep, okay? And imagine you've got this big beach ball. Imagine that this beach ball represents who you are. Let's see the next slides, please. This beach ball represents I am as God created me to be. I'm a perfect, holy child of God. I am loved and beloved. I am Christ. I am spirit. I am unlimited. I am free. I'm here to love and to extend love. What's next? I'm made in God's image. I'm always a creator. I am free to create what I am here to create. And it's according to the heart's desire. What's next? I am perfectly free at all times. One more, I think. All I experience has been my choice, and at no other time has there been any other cause. This is that beach ball. But through our conditioning, we deny that we are as God created us. Through our conditioning, we think, oh, I can't be who I really want to be. I have to be a certain way in order to be safe in this world. According to conditioning, that's what will keep me safe. And I start suppressing who I am. So I'm taking this big beach ball and I'm pushing it underwater. And I can pretend for a while that I'm okay. But to deny who we are is so painful, my friends. To deny the creativity that wants to course through you. To deny the gift that you are here to give. And to think you need to be something other than that in order to be safe, to prosper, and to be happy and joyous, it kills our soul, does it not? And so we've pushed it underwater, and we might appear okay. We might put on a good face, but it only lasts for a little while. And what's going to happen? In a moment when I'm off balance, maybe something's happened in the world or in my life. A person has transitioned. A job has changed. Something happens. I'm off balance. Boom! That beach ball's going to fly right on out, and it's going to hit one of you guys. And it's going to hit you right in the face, just like my sister hitting me in my face. Why do you keep hitting yourself? And so the person who was drowning wasn't drowning because they wanted to disrupt your peace. They're drowning because they're in pain and they're calling out for love. But we think, the lawn chair girl thinks they did something to us. Then they feel guilty. And the beat goes on, and the beat goes on, and the beat goes on. Sonny and Cher, maybe? Yeah? And the beat goes on. And you look at the news. That's the beat that's going on. And forgiveness takes us back, takes us back, takes us back to the beginning. Before we gave a judgment, 70 times 7, the thousands of times that we've been disturbed in our lives. Pause. What am I to forgive? What am I judging? It's okay to keep choosing. Once you bring it to your awareness, it'll lose its appeal over time. 70 times 7. 70 times 7. And we just keep practicing until we return to the beginning. God consciousness. Pause and take a breath with me. That was a lot. But that's the story we're in. And this is the call that we've said yes to. And so therefore, this is our journey. Moment by moment, breath by breath, where can I release my judgment? Right now. Right now. Right now. Moment by moment by moment. What else are you going to do? I mean, seriously. What else are you up to? That's why we're here. And so that's what we're doing. I'm so very excited to have an intensive that will go through the process that is taught and that we'll go over next Sunday too. But if there's an experience that you want to bring forward to really practice this deeply, we'll start on Thursday and go Saturday and the next Tuesday, part Zoom, part in person. But I can't do it in a Sunday service, but I can lay the foundation for it. I can hopefully inspire us along this pathway, and that we can pause throughout our day and one by one, moment by moment, release our areas of forgiveness. Now, there's one story that I'm going to conclude with that I thought was important enough. It's a real life story, not made up like the one I just did. So do you guys ever watch TV shows like Yeah, I'm saying yes. So there's one I've been watching lately, and it's called Shrinking, and it's on Apple TV. And Michael J. Fox, who has Parkinson's disease in real life, plays a character with Parkinson's on the show. And there's a bonus reel if you go and look at it. And I feel like he is walking our path. And I thought you might be able to relate to this. So he's talking about Parkinson's and having Parkinson's. And he says, this shit's hard, and it's unfair, and it's boring. You never get ahead of it. Ever feel like that in your life? Something's happened in your life, or you have a challenge that feels like this. He says, he goes on to say, it teaches you acceptance, it teaches you tolerance, it teaches you compassion, and it teaches you resiliency. You take it and you learn from it. There's a dark side, but there's a light side too, and it's about humanity. I never thought Parkinson's would take so much from me as it would, and I absolutely had no idea how much it would give. So much to me. And it has. It doesn't dictate your life story. I'm still here. That's an obstacle. I bet there's 1,000 times to be disturbed in that experience. And it's still filled with light and with gifts. Just like your life, your perfect ashram, just as it is and just as it isn't. It's your perfect pathway home. And forgiveness is the way. I love you, I bless you, and I thank God for you. And next week, we're going to listen to how Jesus forgives and how we may change our forgiveness story to be like his. Namaste. And so now we pause for a meditation. And this meditation is a silent meditation, a few moments for you to consider the ashram of your life. A few moments to just be, to practice being present, to be the beholder of what is for you in this moment, knowing that every step, every breath is holy.
Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious. We're nailed up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace is show me. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious. When held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace is show me. Every step is holy.
And so we release the breath right here. And we breathe in. And we breathe out. And we keep breathing. Every breath is holy. May you walk forth knowing every one of your steps is holy and that you matter and that you are loved. So much so that you may give that everywhere you go. And imagine a world made new. We become the beholders of that. And so it is. And so as we follow the next breath and breathing, we move a little bit in our seat, we transition, we move the body as we prepare for our gift and for our offering. And it's here that we speak our abundance statement together, if you are willing and if it resonates with you. I am conscious of the inner presence of my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. So from the lavish abundance that moves through us as the conduit of it, we go ahead and pass the baskets for this offering. And as it comes across, I invite you to bless it. I invite you to infuse it with your love, with your thanksgiving for your appreciation of the giver, of the gift. And know that it goes forth to bless this community.
Every step is holy.
And you may join in and sing this if you'd like.
Every breath is life. Every moment precious. When held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace has shown me. Every step is holy.
Every step is holy. Every gift is holy. Every life is holy. We are so very grateful. Together we bless this gift and offering. And we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. We bless this gift and the giver. Thank you.
I couldn't see I was the only hostage to the bitterness I can't let go. Maybe now it's time to cut my losses. Move on, move on, move on. said, I know, I know, I know. 'Cause when you forgive someone, you set yourself free. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free. It's not easy. It's not easy. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free. I got these reasons that I just can't get there. They hold me down like the hounds of hell. But I can tell you that the journey of justice, it never ends up fair. 'Cause when you forgive someone, you set yourself free. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free. It's not easy. It's not easy. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free. Oh, it's heavy on my soul. Lay it down and let it go. Oh, that's heavy on my soul. Lay it down and let it go. 'Cause when you forgive someone, you set yourself free. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free. It's not easy. It's not easy. When you forgive someone, you set yourself free.
I don't know where to stand. I don't know where to stand with the microphone. Okay, here I am. All right. Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Our boutique art gallery is featuring Carol Ann Steinberg. If you could please stand. In the Hand That Paints the Sky for March and April. This is our 51st featured artist in our 46th show. A little bit more about Carol Ann. She's a nature photographer and mixed medium artist born in New York City, resides in Virginia Beach now, luckily. About 13 years ago, during a spiritual awakening, a local artist and friend, Debbie Stadling, invited her to paint. It was as if something inside of her came alive. She began using acrylics, textures, crystals, fabrics, essential oils, and natural materials to create layered compositions. Her mother, Doris, was an amazingly creative woman. At a young age, Carol Ann was taught to have appreciation and love of nature, beauty, color, creativity, plant arranging, shelling, and the ocean. In the last 10 years, she felt called to pray and watch the sunrise, standing on the beach at sunrises, witnessing the hand that paints the sky. Became a beautiful addition to her spiritual experience. The light dances differently with each sunrise. There are no two sunrises or sunsets alike. She began taking photographs and just loved it, and obviously sharing with us. For Carol Ann, nature is the place where she feels most alive and most like herself. It's the ultimate rejuvenator. It is also her joy to share beauty, presence, and love of nature with others. Thank you. So I give you The Hand That Paints the Sky, The Hand That Paints the Sky by Carol Ann Steinberg.
Okay, Unity, always a favorite part in our service. This is where we welcome all of our newcomers. So we ask that if you are visiting Unity Renaissance for either the first, the second, or the third time, that you raise your hand, signifying whether it's the first, second, or third time. And one of our wonderful ushers will bring you a card and a gift from Unity Renaissance. After the service, we invite you to walk through those doors, turn to your right, where a member of the Connection crew will meet you at the Connection corner to connect and get to know some of our congregants and enjoy the fellowship after the service. Right to the right of the sanctuary doors. Always a favorite part of mine. Now let us invite our youth.
Good morning, everybody. So much to tell you today, so buckle up a minute. I just want to share these beautiful pictures of our resource room. I don't know if you've ever been back there, but it can build up to be such a mess. And so yesterday during our cleaning day, I was so honored with the help of Miss Rosie and Sophia and Willow, who's in the back, and sweet Angelina. I know she's here. There she is. Thank you so much. And my very own Russell made us pancakes while we whistled while we worked. And we had a glorious time cleaning up the YFM. So special thank you to all of you who came and did that. It was really, really, really meaningful for me, and I appreciate it so much. So we have a little group today. Don't be fooled. There's plenty of children in the back. The Uniteens and the YOUers are together on a Zoom with all of Eastern Region, and they're learning how to become strong and amazing leaders of unity to come. Isn't that exciting? So great. But for now, I have very excited sharers. Right? We ready to share what we learned today? Okay. Yes, she's ready. You want to hold that? You can. Go ahead.
My heart is full of love.
That was their affirmation today. My heart is full of love. Thank you so much. My heart is full of love just hearing that. With that, please stand for the prayer, protection, and the peace song. All right,